Good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 8 of 30 of real estate content. My name is John Olis. I'm the CEO of Red Diamond Properties Limited. And for the past 7 days, I've been sharing real estate content on different aspects, areas of real estate, from property brokerage to short let to yearly residential. Now we are in the fourth one, day 8, on land banking. Yesterday, 1st of March, I started land banking, and today I'm going to be continuing. Yesterday, I shared the meaning of land banking. I also shared the factors that increase the value of land, the factors that you should consider before going into land banking. So today, I want to share my thoughts on success tips for land banking and also exit strategies in land banking. I come again today. I'm going to be sharing success tips in land banking as well as exit strategies for land banking. And what are the success tips for land banking? The first thing I will say is this: go where recognized developers are going. Yesterday, I shared the fact that things that increase the value of land include infrastructure, include government, commercial activity, population density. But to succeed in land banking, one thing you should consider is going where property development companies are going to. Because some property development companies do not even wait for government to bring the infrastructure there. They can bring infrastructure together. They can pool resources and bring infrastructure there. Recently, I was listening to an advert, and Olumide Emmanuel, a real estate mogul, was talking. He said that his company, in partnership with other companies in a location, I think in Ogun or Ibadan, they are pulling resources of about 10 billion naira to put infrastructure in that place, in that area, because infrastructure plays a very key role. So there are instances in which government will delay in bringing infrastructure, but there are big boys in the real estate sector that pool their resources together. Real estate companies in that area, they pool their resources together and bring infrastructure. So if you want to succeed in land banking, one thing you should do, the first success tip I'll tell you is this: follow property developers. Follow property developers to the location they are going. The next one I want to share is this: follow migration patterns. Follow migration patterns. Yesterday, I shared on population density. That already says that there's already population in a place, full. But migration patterns now say there are new locations people are moving to. And when people are moving to those locations, that is a virgin area for land banking. So follow migration patterns. So for instance, I said yesterday that Lagos is the smallest state in Nigeria in terms of land mass, and yet the largest state in Nigeria in terms of population. So Lagos is getting fuller by the day. What that also presupposes is that surrounding states like Ogun State, like Oyo State, are good for land banking. Because as infrastructure comes more to Lagos, remember Lagos already has a functional rail system. Remember there's a rail system from Lagos to Ibadan. With development and with the increasing population of Lagos, it will reach a time where Lagos might not be able to take so much more people because of increase in rent. So it will reach a time, which is already happening now, but it will become much more applicable. It will happen much more, where people living outside Lagos will be coming into Lagos, working in Lagos. I'm not just talking of now Ogun State. No, I'm talking of even from Ibadan, when we have walking rails. So you need to look at migration patterns. And the same person, Olumide Emmanuel, he said something. He said, anywhere that is 30 minutes from the heart of town, from the central commercial hub, anywhere that is 30 minutes from that location is a future migration hub, is a future residential hub. So you know, some people will say, no, I want land in the heart of town. I want property in the heart of town. Nothing is wrong with that. But if you know you cannot get in the heart of town, 30 minutes from town is a good location for land banking. Here in Abuja, I have lost count of stories of people that have told me that they had opportunities to buy land, but what would they say? It's bush. They'll say it's bush. I've heard so many stories. One told me then, that was in 2024, I was helping him to get a property, to look for a property in Katape district. And he was telling me how in the early 2000s, when he had the opportunity to buy land in Lugbe, early 2000s, when he just finished his youth corps service, NYSC, he had the opportunity, but was like, no, Lugbe is bush. That was then. But now he could not get the land here. One of my favorite sayings on land in Abuja is that there is no bush in Abuja. Another colleague too was telling me how when the father was posted as a police officer to Abuja in the early 2000s, they had the opportunity to get land in Kubwa, but they despised it. They were like, hey, when any development come here. But now Kubwa is one of the biggest satellite towns in Abuja. One of the biggest satellite towns in Abuja. So there is no bush in Abuja. There is no bush. It's just that development will get to some places before others. But to succeed in land banking, what should you do? Follow migration patterns. And people will keep going sort of back. Let me also use the example of the Maraba-Nyanya axis. Maraba-Nyanya falls between the FCT and Nasarawa axis. And people live there. Why? Because it's sort of Nasarawa, but properties are still quite cheap. And the travel time is short. Now, those who might have bought land years ago will be smiling to the bank very soon. Why? Because one of the constraining factors then was the tightness of the road, so there'll be hold-ups and the likes. But the FCT administration now is widening the roads, right? So people who migrated there years ago and bought lands are positioned for a boom. So to succeed in land banking, the second thing you should do is follow migration patterns. Follow migration patterns. And I'll share another one. To succeed in land banking, what should you do? I'm going to have a day to share so much on it, but let me just give it to you in passing. Do your due diligence. Due diligence has to do with everything necessary or done in order to authenticate the veracity of a land. That is, we're talking about the title, whether the title is genuine. In some communities, I'm going to talk about the different type of land titles we have. It's not just C of O or R of O. We have so many others. But let me just stop there for now. But you need to do a due diligence. Due diligence, the goal is to authenticate, to know the title, to know whether the person who is selling to you actually is the one who has the right to sell to you. You do a due diligence to know whether there are disputes over the land. You do a due diligence to know whether the title has been registered with the land registry. You do a due diligence to know whether the land shown to you on the title document is in the same location. That's where the place of a survey plan comes in. So many other things. You do a due diligence to know whether a land is under government acquisition. It's very important. I heard this story shared by my mentor, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, of a woman who bought land many years ago at a very cheap price in the Lekki axis. And she just purchased it because it was cheap. She didn't do her due diligence. She did not do her due diligence. It was after purchasing it that she now realized that the land was under government acquisition. So already under government acquisition, and government was already compensating those who had the land. So she bought the land in ignorance of that. And that was a loss for her. So due diligence is very important that you do. I'm going to have a separate day where I'm going to share more light on due diligence, but that is just one thing you should know. To succeed in land banking, do your due diligence. And the next one I want to talk about to succeed in land banking is, which is the last tip for success, is this. Embrace payment plans. Embrace payment plans. Payment plans, as the name implies, gives you the opportunity to pay for a property over a long period of time. 6 months to 12 months, 18 months. So payment plan comes as a benefit to two people, because you need to realize sometimes developers do not have the capital, right, to buy large plots of land at once. So what do? They go and negotiate with the owners of the land. And the owners of the land tell them, bring so amount of money. And with that money, we can give you the land. And you can pay us over a period of time. So the developers now come to you and tell you, we want to sell this land to you at the pre-launch price. At launch, let me say, they can say 500 square meters will go for 5 million. But if you buy the land now, we'll give it to you at 4 million or 3.5 million. And with an initial deposit of 1.5 million, you can key into it, and you can spread your payment over 6 months, 1 year, for the remaining whether 2 million or 2.5 million, depending on whether it's 3.5 million or 4 million. Do you get? So with the money you have paid them, they use it to pay the landowners, get the title document. But your own benefit is that you have keyed into it. You have keyed into it. So it's a win-win situation. The developer gets the land from the owner, large quantity, and buys it and spreads payment. Remember, the developer is taking off the stress from you, because the benefit of buying from property developers is that when challenges arise, if any, they're the ones that help you to face challenges. If there's legal tussle, it's not you that will be taking the owner of the land to court. It's the real estate company that will take them to court. So they take that stress off you. So that's one benefit of buying from real estate companies rather than sometimes buying individually, because when challenges come, real estate companies have the muscle to face challenges, whether challenges of land grabbers, whether challenges of encroachment of land. But real estate companies are the ones that will bear that risk for you. So that's why it's better, especially if you are starting out, to buy from real estate companies rather than individual lands, as you are still learning the ropes. As you grow in the sector, you may now start buying individually. So still on what I'm saying, one benefit or one tip for success in land banking is to utilize payment plan. So that way you can get the land at a lower rate than you would have bought it if the company had already launched it. You're buying it at the rate that they call pre-launch price. So a land of 5 million, they're selling to you 3.5 million or 4 million, and they tell you can spread payment over 1 year. Meanwhile, as you're spreading your payment over 1 year, the value of land is already increasing. One of my new real estate mentors, whose name I will not mention because he loves privacy, is somebody who has succeeded so much in land banking. He will buy land 7 million. As he's spreading payment over years, the value has increased to 22 million. He has so many like that in Lagos, or in the Lekki axis, in the Ajah axis, in the Bejuleki axis. Spreading payments. So embrace payment plans as a tip for success in land banking. Embrace payment plans. So that's it. First one, follow developers because developers sometimes, when they pool resources together with other developers, they can get into a location and change the landscape. They're not waiting for government to bring infrastructure. They bring infrastructure, they bring funds together, create infrastructure, the place booms. Follow trusted developers. Number two, follow migration patterns. Number three, do your due diligence. And number four, embrace payment plans. So now, let's talk exit strategies. Remember, land banking is either for development or for resale. So that predisposes or presupposes that there are two exit strategies. The first exit strategy for any land banking investment is sale. You bought maybe 1 hectare. You can now start selling. Maybe you bought it 20 million. You know, a hectare is consisting of 10,000 square meters. So you can now start breaking the land into pieces and reselling in bits. Or maybe you bought from a real estate company, you don't have the funds to get up to 1 hectare. You bought maybe 4 units of 500 square meters at 2 million. The value has increased to 4 million. You can start reselling one by one. So the first way to make money in land banking, your exit strategy rather, is resale. You sell it at a profit. Then don't just sell and eat the money. especially if you do not have urgent needs. Once you sell, put it in another project. This same investor I told you about, whose name I did not mention, that is one thing he does. He's getting money, profit from this investment. He doesn't just eat it. He goes to another investment that is just starting up, land banking or property development off plan, which I'll share off plan in the coming days. But let me talk about land banking. Once he sells, he has maxed out his returns in this one. Sells, goes to another real estate investment, starts the process again, and that's how he keeps doing it. So the first thing is outright sale. First thing is outright sale as an exit strategy. And the second one I want to talk about as an exit strategy is joint development. You don't want to sell. You now partner with a real estate company to develop the land. That is joint development. And you build whatever you want to build subject to government approval. Maybe you have a 1,000 square meter. You can decide to build 10 units of block or flat and you do 50-50. Especially if development has come to that location, the value of the land would have increased. Now, okay, I will share joint development on another day, but let me just share a bit on it. Joint development presupposes that the developer has funds, but he doesn't want to incur funds in buying land. You have land, you partner. And you have the land, you do not have funds. You are the joint developer partner, and when it's built, you share whether 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, or whatever you agree on. Then if your land is so valuable, sometimes you can ask for a premium. A premium is an upfront payment by the developer on the value of the land before they even develop the land. So maybe you bought the land at 50 million, then 5 years down the land is now worth 500 million. You can say, okay, developer, we want to start this project, but before we start this project, I want you to pay me a premium of 100 million before we start. So that way you get some cash, some benefit before the development starts. And when the development starts, at the conclusion stage, you would have already pre-negotiated what each of you will get, whether it's your share of 50-50 or 60-40 or the likes. So the second exit strategy from land banking is called joint development, while the first one is outright sale. So that's what you need to know about land banking. There is so much to be shared about it. I'll need to stop here. Tomorrow I'll go to another one. But remember, land banking is buying land in bulk and keeping it for either future appreciation, for future resale, or for future property development. And some of the factors that positively affect land banking include infrastructure, include population density, include commercial activities. And I said, if you want to succeed in land banking, there are about 4 things you need to do. 1, follow property development companies. Buy into them. Number 2, follow migration patterns. Where people are going to is a reflection of where value of land will increase. Number 3, do your due diligence to be sure of free encumbrances, to be sure of no legal hitches. And the last but not the least is embrace payment plans. And if you want to exit from a land banking deal, you can do an outright sale or you can do a joint development. My name is John Olisa, and I'm the CEO of Red Diamond Properties Limited. We recently launched our first estate in Kuchiyaku, Kuje, Abuja, and you can buy into this project. And if you choose, use it for land banking. Keep it for some years, then develop and sell, or keep it for some years and resell. And this is what we have. On a 200 square meter land, you can build a 3-bedroom terrace duplex, and it goes for 1.5 million. On a 300 square meter land, you can build a 4-bedroom semi-detached duplex, and it goes for 2.2 million. For 400 square meters, you can build a 5-bedroom fully detached duplex, and it goes for 3 million. While on a 1,000 square meter land, you can go, which goes for 7 million, you can build 6 units of 1, 2, 3 bedroom flats, 2 units of each of them. So that is it. And you can contact me for more information on +234 813 799 0792. I go again, +234 813 799 0792. You can also send us an email at reddiamondproperties10@gmail.com. I go again, reddiamondproperties10@gmail.com. And you can ask us, make inquiries for more. So thank you so very much for joining me on the 8th of 30 days of real estate content. Tomorrow I'm going to continue and I'll be sharing with you another aspect of real estate investment that you can make money through. And I'm still going to also talk on legal aspect of real estate, tax aspect of real estate, how to avoid scam, and so much. Remember, the first rule of investment is this: before you invest money in any investment, firstly invest money in acquiring knowledge about the investment. And I've been doing this for the last 80 days, and by God's grace, I'll continue for the next 22 days. And I'm not charging you for this. I'm giving you free value so that you can get information, get knowledge on real estate in Nigeria. So that when you're going into it, your chances of success are higher and the chances of losses are lower. So follow me, and follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, and you will get so much value. You can also follow our property company page, Red Diamond Properties, on Facebook and Instagram, where you can follow me, John Olisa, on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so very much for joining me today on the 8th. It has been a pleasure having you. Tomorrow we continue, and I look forward to seeing you. Thank you so very much, and have a good evening. Bye.